Have you ever thought about how to be your best self when you're with someone? Why do so many people ask this? Because deep down, we all want to be liked and appreciated by the people around us. But how can we get this? We are interested in reality. We're not just interested in our own qualities or accomplishments, but also in other people. We are truly interested in people. Think of every relationship as a job. You are an explorer who wants to find the hidden treasures of your soul and share them with others. But to do this today, you need a sense of connection and a path that leads to love. I will help you find your worth in relationships by using 9 lessons from Stoic philosophy. Pay attention to these lessons, not the empty advice you hear a lot about how to strengthen yourself in ways you might not think of. You are now ready to learn how to create a life full of love and solid relationships based on mutual respect and inner power. Let's begin. Number 1. Knowing how much you're really worth. So what does Stoicism have to do with knowing your worth in relationships? Stoics believed that we should focus on what we can control, and guess what? You have full control over your own self-worth. It's not about how many likes you get on social media or if someone shows interest in you. It's about how you see and value yourself. Imagine that you are a jewel. Some people might walk by a rare gem without understanding how valuable it is, but that doesn't change the gem's value. It's still precious, rare, and one of a kind. That's how you are. Your value doesn't change just because someone misses it. To be honest, we've all been turned down and felt like we weren't good enough, especially in today's world where everyone seems to be doing well. But here's the truth from a Stoic point of view. Your worth doesn't rest on what other people say about you. It comes from how you act and your values. Your true worth comes from the things you do, like being kind, honest, and living in a way that is in line with your values. Stoics believed in thinking about oneself, so take a moment to think about your traits, not just the obvious ones, but also the more profound ones. When it comes to partnerships, it's important to find strength in what you already know to be true, recognizing your own worth, even if no one else does. Remember that recognizing your worth isn't a one-time thing. It's a journey that lasts a lifetime. It means waking up every day and telling yourself that you're valuable, not because of what other people think, but because of the things that make you unique. Stoicism says that knowing what you're really worth is important for growing as a person and keeping your peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus were 2 old Stoics who stressed the importance of knowing yourself and your own worth over getting approval from others. Knowing what you're really worth helps you face life's problems with confidence and strength, so you stay true to your values and don't let other people's opinions change you. Value in and of itself over external validation. Stoicism says that a person's real worth comes from within and is based on their good deeds and actions, not on their accomplishments or praise from other people. Work on improving your character, honesty, and knowledge. These traits about yourself are what really make you valuable. Self-awareness and thinking about it. Regularly, thinking about yourself is important for knowing and enjoying your true worth. To do this, you need to think about your skills, weaknesses, and what you bring to the world. Set aside time every day to think about what you've done and what you've chosen. Writing in a journal can help you keep track of your progress and see where you need to make changes. Getting away from material things. Material wealth and things don't last forever, so they shouldn't be used to measure your self-worth. Stoicism tells people to let go of these things so they can focus on what really counts. Be thankful for what you have and happy with it. Instead of focusing on getting more, you should appreciate where you are now and work on improving your virtues. Accept problems and challenges. Dealing with problems and getting through them shows how strong and resilient you are. You learn more about your abilities and worth as a person through these events. See problems as chances to learn and grow. Have a positive attitude about problems and see them as chances to show and improve your inner power. Getting actions to match core values. How well your deeds match up with your core values and principles shows how valuable you are. Being in harmony all the time builds honesty and self-respect. Find your core ideals and make sure that everything you do and decide every day is in line with them. This connection will make you feel better about your own worth. Stoic thought is based on the idea that you should know what you're really worth, focusing on your own values, becoming more self-aware, letting go of material things, accepting challenges, and making sure your actions are in line with your core values can help you build a strong sense of self-worth that isn't affected by outside factors. This inner strength will give you the power to live a full, moral life that is true to who you are. Number 2, please treat yourself with respect. Now, before you start picturing a Stoic as this stern, unsmiling figure from old times, let me clear the air. Stoicism isn't about hiding your feelings or not caring. It's about knowing what deserves your attention and what doesn't. And guess what? The way you present yourself deserves your attention. So let's talk about what it means to present yourself with dignity in relationships. Have you ever noticed that sometimes we go to great lengths to impress someone, only to lose sight of who we really are? We change how we dress and speak in order to get their approval, but here's the key point, and this is where our calm and wise perspective comes in. Respect is not based on the clothes you wear or the cool places you hang out. It's based on how you act, what you do, and the choices you make. Imagine you're in a classroom watching 2 students give speeches. One student uses big words and gestures to impress the crowd, while the other student keeps their cool and talks naturally and with confidence. Which student do you think leaves the most lasting impression? Usually it's the one who is real and at ease with themselves, isn't it? This shows how important it is to treat yourself with respect. The Stoics, who were known for their ideas about self-control and virtue, stressed how important it was to be honest and treat yourself with respect. How does this relate to dating today? It's simple. Be true to yourself. If you love reading, do it. If you have a strong passion for something, let it show. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about being comfortable and sure of who you are and knowing that you are valuable just the way you are. Another important point, treat yourself with respect. How you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. If you're always criticizing yourself, others will think it's okay to do the same. On the other hand, when you respect yourself, you value your time, energy, and feelings. When you say something, you mean it. I deserve respect and expect to be treated with it. A wise Stoic philosopher once said, "It's not what happens to you that matters in relationships, but how you react to it." It's not just what you say or how you look. It's how you act in different situations. Are you acting with desperation or dignity? Are you giving up your values to fit in? Or are you staying true to yourself, even if it means being alone? This doesn't need perfection. We all have flaws and feel weird sometimes. What matters is how you handle those times. Are you weak when things get tough, or do you learn and keep going? Let's stop and think about how we can start to treat ourselves with more respect. It could mean making clear limits or saying no to things that don't fit with our morals. Additionally, it could mean being kind and respectful to ourselves more. If you think you deserve respect, others will start to agree with you. Number 3, how to communicate without words. I know this may sound a little old-fashioned or strict at first, but please hear me out. It's not about being hard to talk to. It's about knowing your worth and loving yourself. What does Stoicism say about this? Stoicism teaches us how to stay strong and in control, but not in a boring or strict way. It's about knowing what's important and not giving it away too easily in a world where we want things right away and scroll through social media all the time. When we're in a relationship or just getting to know someone, we often feel rushed to share everything with them, our time, our space, and our deepest feelings. But Stoics would tell you to take a step back. They say this because when something is always available, it loses its uniqueness. It's just how humans are. If you're always there for someone when they need you, saying yes to everything, where's the fun in that? The puzzle looking forward to? Let's talk about how to politely break rules. The tough way. Firstly, it starts with how you look. Dressing stylishly but modestly sends a message that says, I respect myself. You're not hiding who you are, but you're also not revealing everything right away either. It's about finding balance and saying, there's more to me than what you see. Managing your time and focus is also very important. In today's highly connected world, choosing who gets your time is an important choice. It's not about playing games. It's about reminding myself that my time is valuable and that I carefully choose how to spend it. When you're with someone, you should be fully present and involved, but when you're not, it's okay to be unavailable and focus on your own personal growth and life goals. Stoicism also stresses emotional self-mastery. It doesn't promote being cold or disconnected. Instead, it promotes maintaining a balanced perspective. This means not letting small things affect you too deeply. It's about staying calm and peaceful. You don't give your emotional energy to everyone. It's something that you earn, just like your time and attention. I'm not saying you should stop caring about other people or act like a stoic statue. We're all human, and real relationships are important for a happy life, but there's something special about taking things one step at a time. Pace is about making links that aren't just about getting what you want right away. It's about building deep, lasting relationships that go beyond instant gratification and quick fixes. Setting limits isn't about controlling people or playing games. It's about respecting yourself and staying true to your values. It's about showing that you deserve to be treated with respect, both through words and actions. So let's be a little more selective, composed, and stoic in our relationship approach. It's about finding a balance between being open and careful, between sharing and holding back a bit. And trust me, it has a huge impact on how others see and treat you. Cheers to valuing ourselves and EMB, brushing up on our stoicism in today's dating scene. There is a powerful tool called nonverbal communication that goes beyond words and lets us send feelings, thoughts, and messages without speaking. It includes the way we look, move, speak, make eye contact, stand, and even the tone of our voice. Mastering the art of silent communication can help us connect with others more easily, have better conversations, and form stronger bonds with others. Getting to know. Body language. Body language is all of the moves and gestures we use to show how we feel and what we think. Important parts are posture. Being confident and open can be shown by standing or sitting up straight with arms and legs not crossed. Gestures. Moving your hands can draw attention to something, show excitement, or show that you agree or disagree with something. Expressions on the face. Frowns, smiles, and other expressions on the face show a lot of different feelings. Why eye contact is important. Making eye contact is an important part of communicating without words. It can build trust. Making and keeping eye contact shows that you are paying attention and are sincere. Show interest. Looking at the speaker shows that you are interested and involved. Control conversations. Making eye contact can help you know when someone else wants to talk. Voice tone, pitch and volume all play a big role in how we communicate without words. It can send emotions. A soft tone can show care or love, while a loud tone could mean anger or energy. Points to stress. Changing the tone can draw attention to key points or questions. Show confidence. A steady, clear tone shows that you are sure of yourself and your power. How to use space for proxemics. When people talk to each other, they use personal space. This is called proximity. It could mean when people are comfortable with someone, they tend to stand closer to them. Power dynamics. People with more power may take up more room or feel free to invade other people's personal space. Differences between cultures. Personal space rules are different in each country. Reflecting mirroring is when you slightly copy someone else's movements, stance, and actions. It can build rapport. Mirroring can help people feel more connected and empathetic. Improve understanding. It shows that you understand how the other person feels and what they are thinking. Build trust. People are more likely to trust and feel at ease with others who act like them. Nonverbal conversation is an important part of getting along with other people. We can improve how we talk and connect with others by paying attention to things like eye contact, tone of voice, personal space, and mirroring. You can have more meaningful and successful interactions in both personal and business settings if you understand and master these nonverbal cues. Number 4, be ready to walk away. Stoicism has a strong idea about letting go, not in a cold or heartless way, but by knowing what we can change and what we can't. One of the most empowering things we can do is choose whether to stay or leave a situation that doesn't serve our well-being. This is especially important in relationships. We've all been in situations where we know we deserve better, but choose to stay. It could be out of fear of being alone, fear of change, or just holding on to hope that things will get better. This is where Stoicism comes in. Real strength comes from knowing that we have the power to stay or leave situations that go against our values and choose a different path. If things get tough in a relationship, it takes work, time, and understanding, but it's important to know your values and self-worth so well that you're ready to move on when something fundamentally goes against them. It's about having the inner strength and stoic courage to say, I respect myself too much to settle for less than I deserve. Let's look into this idea in more detail. Being able to leave a situation shows that you respect yourself. It means standing up for what you believe in and knowing what you're worth. Leaving doesn't have to be a big deal all the time. Sometimes it's just a quiet choice, a peaceful understanding that this isn't right for you. I get that not knowing what the future holds can be scary, but remember our Stoic friends. They taught us how to be strong in difficult situations and accept life's unknowns. To understand that letting go of something that doesn't fit with your path is sometimes the hardest thing you can do. When you're in a relationship and know that you're there because it fits your ideals, this view can change everything, not because you don't want to leave. This is a game changer. It changes the whole dynamic. You're not staying out of desperation or fear. You're staying because it's your real choice. And that's the important thing. When you bravely leave behind what doesn't serve you, you make room for what does. It's like clearing out the past to make room for the future. It's about believing that better things are waiting for you and giving yourself the chance to find them. Let's remember that being ready to move on doesn't mean being cold or uncaring. It means loving and respecting ourselves enough to say, I deserve something better. It means being strong when problems come up and knowing that our worth doesn't depend on other people or things. A lot of the time, we get stuck in relationships, situations, or commitments that aren't good for us or don't fit with our ideals. Being able to walk away is a very important skill for keeping your mental and moral purity. It follows the ideas of Stoicism and teaches us to put what's important first and let go of what's not. Putting your health first. Feeling good about yourself should always come first. Staying in a bad situation or relationship can drain your energy and make it hard to make decisions. You can protect your health and focus on self-improvement when you walk away. Know how much you're worth. Knowing your worth is very important. If someone or something makes you feel bad about yourself or treats you badly, it's time to leave. Remember that you have to respect yourself. Learn how to detach yourself from things. Being detached doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care in a smart way. You can look at events more objectively and decide if staying fits with your long-term goals and core values if you practice detachment. Try not to make the sunken cost fallacy. You don't have to keep doing something if it's not working just because you've put time, effort, or resources into it. The sunk cost myth keeps you from getting things done. Walking away can give you the freedom to look for more satisfying possibilities. Be open to new things and change. Freedom comes from letting go of things that are no longer useful. Accepting change can help you grow as a person and open up new experiences and chances that are more in line with your values and goals. Being ready to leave someone is a strong habit that comes from having self-respect, being logical, and following the Stoic advice to focus on what you can control. Knowing when to let go makes room for growth and opens up doors to experiences that make your life better. Remember that leaving isn't a sign of weakness. It shows how strong you are and how clear your goals are. Number 5. Putting limits in plain sight. Stoicism stresses that deeds are more important than words. Stoics believed that actions should speak louder than words. This is especially important when talking about putting limits in relationships. Talking about your limits is one thing, but showing them through your deeds is much more powerful. Think about this. It's easy to say what your limits are. While I won't put up with mistreatment, the real test is whether you will stick to your rules or give in when you see it. That's where real strength lies, not in words, but in deeds. I know this isn't easy. It can be tough, especially when emotions are involved. But let's remember what the Stoics said. We have the power to decide how to react to things. When someone crosses a boundary, it's not just your words that set and enforce that boundary. For example, let's say honesty is one of your core values and someone lies to you. How you react shows how serious you are about your boundaries. Whether you choose to calmly address the issue or decide to step back, your actions show how committed you are to your values. Showing self-respect by acting in a way that is in line with your beliefs is what it's all about. This can make a big difference in relationships. When people see that you have clear boundaries and are willing to enforce them, they get a better idea of what you will and won't accept. It's about developing self-respect and sticking to it. Let us look at a basic idea in a straightforward way. The little things that happen every day are just as important as the big events. When plans change at the last minute or someone doesn't value you enough, how do you react? Do you ignore it or calmly let them know that their behavior is not acceptable? This is where Stoic mindfulness comes in. It's about paying attention to the present moment and how you react to it. Are your actions in line with your limits? Are you being true to yourself? It's important to pay attention to the little things because that's when your limits are really put to the test as you go about your day and talk to other people. When we set our limits, let's try to be a little more patient. We don't have to be stubborn or unbending. We just need to have an inner guide that tells us what to do and how to react. Trust me on this. This makes people pay attention. They start to see you as someone who not only sets limits, but also cares enough about themselves to stick to them. Number 6. Things you do say louder than words. As we've learned, Stoicism is about using common sense. It means judging people by what they do, not just what they say. In our world, a lot of people say nice things but don't do what they say. This is especially true in relationships. Stoics tell us to look past the charm and pay attention to actions instead, because actions reveal what is truly real. Think about this. It's easy for someone to say everything perfectly and paint a picture of a future that seems perfect, but are they really doing what they say? Are their actions backing up what they say? That's where the truth lies. Let's be honest. We've all been there. We meet someone, they say amazing things, and we're enchanted. But as time goes on, their actions don't match their words. They say they'll call, but they don't. They make plans, but they cancel at the last minute, but we still believe what they said. Now is the time for our inner calm to take over. Stoicism tells us not to let words or feelings change our minds. When someone's actions don't match their words, that's a warning sign. It's like the universe is telling you, hey, pay attention, something isn't right here. This way of thinking changes how you deal with relationships instead of letting promises and sweet words sweep you away. You start to pay attention to little things like how they act. People who are under pressure should keep their promises and be present for you, not only through words, but also through meaningful actions. It's interesting that when you pay attention to what people do instead of just what they say, you set a standard. You're telling them, I'm not just listening to your words, I'm watching your actions. And that really makes an impact. They realize they can't just talk their way into your life. They have to prove they're real and worthy of your trust. But remember that this isn't about being negative or doubting everyone. It's about being smart about protecting your feelings with a dose of stoicism. Insight means not letting your feelings get the best of you and staying grounded, so let's remember to pay attention to actions as well as words. Let's approach love with a calm, reasonable, observant, and thoughtful attitude, because actions speak louder than words in the end. Number 7. Developing a healthy skepticism. Stoicism and reality go hand in hand. Stoics believe that we should see things as they really are, not how we want them to be. This way of thinking can help us in love and dating. When someone says all the right things, we want to believe them, even if there are red flags we choose to ignore. This is where adopting a Stoic mindset can be helpful. Being appropriately skeptical is like having a superpower. It means staying realistic and not accepting everything without question. It means being aware, asking questions, and not rushing into things without giving them some careful thought. Let's say you meet someone new and they seem great. They say lots of nice things and even talk about a future together, but it's only been a short time. Your skeptical Stoic mind would tell you to take it easy, see if their actions match their words, and watch how things go. Skepticism isn't about asking a lot of questions or doubting everything the other person does. Instead, it's about being thoughtful. It means not only listening to what they say, but also watching what they do. It means taking the time to really understand someone to see if they're honest and consistent. The Stoics stressed using logic and reason in relationships instead of letting your emotions take over. This is important because when our emotions take over, we may miss important details, but when we combine them with skepticism and logical thinking, we can see things more clearly. And here's another important thing. Keeping a bit of skepticism is a way to protect your heart. When you're not rushing into something without knowing for sure, you give yourself a chance to understand the other person's true nature instead of putting your own wants onto them. That's why it's important to have a little Stoic skepticism. It's about being smart, paying attention, and not letting our feelings take over. It's about keeping ourselves and our emotional health safe. It's not about shutting down, but about taking new chances with careful thought and wisdom. It is important to learn how to question and critically analyze what we see and hear in a world full of facts, ideas, and beliefs. Developing healthy doubt means keeping an open mind while also being critical. This helps us tell the difference between reliable information and claims that aren't true. This habit not only keeps us safe from lying, but it also makes it easier for us to make smart choices. To understand and use healthy doubt in your life, read these 5 points. Question beliefs. Before you believe or say something, you should always ask yourself what beliefs are behind it. Ask yourself what proof backs up these assumptions, and if there are other possible explanations. Application. Think about where the information came from and how it supports the claims being made before you believe it. Question the first conclusions and look for other points of view. Evaluate evidence. Carefully look over the proof that is given to back up claims. Think about how good, relevant, and trustworthy the information or evidence is. Look for first-hand accounts, studies that have been reviewed by experts in the field, and proof that backs up what you're saying from a number of trustworthy sources. Be wary of claims that haven't been proven or anecdotal proof. Recognize cognitive biases. There are common cognitive biases that can affect how you make decisions. For example, confirmation bias is when you favor information that backs up what you already believe. Application. Seek out information that makes you think differently about what you believe. Listen to different points of view and be ready to change your mind if new information comes along. Know the difference between opinion and fact. Know the difference between your own views and facts that are out there for everyone to see. Opinions are subjective interpretations, while facts can be checked and are based on real-world proof. When you look at information, you need to figure out what parts are opinion and what parts are fact. Facts that are backed up by evidence should be given more weight. Practice being humble and open-minded. Having healthy skepticism means being aware of what you don't know and being willing to learn new things. Application. Be open to learning and changing your views with every new piece of information you come across. Take into account that being wrong is a part of learning and a chance to grow. Developing a healthy sense of doubt is a useful skill that helps us get around in a world full of knowledge and complexity. We can gain a more discerning and well-informed view by questioning assumptions, evaluating proof, being aware of cognitive biases, telling the difference between opinion and fact, and being humble and open-minded. This way of thinking not only keeps us safe from false information, but it also helps us make better choices in our personal and professional lives. Number 8. It takes courage to say no with stoicism. It's important to stay true to your ideals and have the bravery to do so. This is especially important when it comes to relationships, because it means being clear about your beliefs and not being afraid to stick to them, even if it causes problems. For example, if you're in a relationship and your partner suggests doing something that doesn't feel good to you, it could be moving too quickly or asking you to do something that goes against your values. It might seem like the simple choice, but this is where your tough mentality comes in handy. Saying no in these situations is all about respecting yourself, your beliefs, and your limits. The little voice in your head keeps telling you that this isn't easy. It can be really hard, especially if you care about the person. They whisper, "What if telling them no makes them not want to talk to you?" But here's the thing. We need to get brave. Stoicism isn't just about dealing with problems in the outside world, It's also about dealing with problems inside our own heads. Truthfully stating no is a sign of self-respect. It shows that you value yourself highly and will not settle for less than what you earn. Of course, there's a chance you could lose them, but that's not the point. If someone leaves you because you say no to something that goes against your morals, then maybe they weren't the right person for you in the first place. Being firm in your refusal to give in to others' demands can really change the dynamics of a relationship. When someone sees that you're not afraid to say no and won't bend your values to please them, it changes how they see you. It shows that you respect and value yourself, which is very appealing. Saying no isn't just about setting limits with other people. It's also about being honest with yourself. It's about being aware of your true wants and needs in a relationship and sticking to them. It's about not letting the fear of being alone push you into choices that aren't in line with your true self. Let's take a moment to think about this. Saying no is not only okay, it's necessary. It's about staying true to ourselves, living with integrity, as the Stoics stressed. It's about building relationships based on mutual respect and sincere connection instead of fear and obsession. Number 9, don't always chase value. This fits well with everything we've been talking about, especially when we look at it from a Stoic point of view. Stoicism tells us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. When we think about relationships, this idea is very powerful because it helps us understand that chasing after someone who is going away from us is not only pointless, but it also goes against knowing our own worth. Let's say you're dating someone and things are going well, but then they start pulling away. Our first instinct, which we've all felt, is to run after them to try to close the gap. But Stoicism can help us do that. Stoics would ask, why are you pursuing something that you can't control? The answer lies in your sense of self-worth, your sense of dignity, and your peace of mind. If someone is pulling away, following them is like trying to catch water in your hands. It doesn't work and makes you feel empty. The conservative way of life tells you to be sure of your own worth. If someone is moving away from you, let them go. It's not about being cold or unfeeling. It's about realizing that you can't control how other people feel or act, but you can control how you react. Let's face it, this isn't easy. It takes a lot of inner strength to resist the urge to check up on someone. It's believing that if someone really values you, they'll show it. It's refusing to let someone else's behavior affect you. Define your worth by saying, I deserve respect. And if you can't see that happening, then someone else will. This changes everything. It gives you back control of your emotions and actions. You're no longer dependent on someone else's unpredictable actions. You're in charge of how you feel and what you do. It's empowering, and, if you're honest, it's freeing. And here's the best part. When you stop chasing after others and start investing in yourself, your life, and your growth, wonderful things happen. You naturally attract people who are drawn to your strength, confidence, and self-worth. It's as if you're sending a message that says, I value myself, and I'm aware of it. So let's remember this lesson. We don't have to chase after others. Instead, we should focus on finding inner peace and not looking for approval from others. Today is the end of our conversation, and I want you to remember something very important. Your self-worth is like the brightest thread that ties everything together, just like the Stoics thought. Remember that you are in charge of your own honor and self-esteem, no matter what happens. Embrace your inner strength. Let your actions, decisions, and limits show what a great person you are. And if you ever doubt yourself, remember this moment and the Stoic wisdom we've talked about. Life isn't just something you have to go through. It's a chance to grow stronger and wiser every day. If you liked our video today, check out our playlist. It's full of more insights, stories, and tips that will help you navigate life with more confidence and wisdom. Click on it, and let's keep going on this journey together. Thanks for joining me in this conversation. Always remember that you're not on this journey by yourself. We're all working it out together, one step at a time, until our next video. Stay safe, smart, and keep being the strong person you are.